Hiya guys, long time no see! Did you miss me? Oh, I've missed you. How do you do an intro again? Jurassic World Dominion. So Jurassic World Dominion is the 6th movie in the Jurassic Era franchise and the 3rd movie in the whole... So Jurassic World Dominion is the 6th movie in the Jurassic Era franchise and it's the 3rd movie in the rebooted 2015 Jurassic World franchise. That wasn't words. It's the 3rd installment of the Jurassic World franchise and is not only the concluding chapter of that particular trilogy, but also the concluding chapter of the Jurassic Era as a whole. And so, because of that, expectations for this film were pretty high. But just before I get into this review, I should probably say, hello, it's me again. I had no real intention of making any more videos. Not because I hated making videos for you guys or talking about movies. I always loved the whole going to see films and talking about them with you guys aspect. It was just the editing I wasn't really the biggest fan of, and the more I worked, the more I had other things going on, I just sort of didn't have the time to make videos anymore. But when I went to go see this movie, I came out of it and I knew I had to talk about it because I adore this franchise. Like, I grew up with this franchise. The first Jurassic Park movie is one of those movies that really truly inspired or sparked my love for filmmaking. Now, don't get me wrong, when I was young and dumb and first watched it, I was watching it going, oh, dinosaurs aren't real, how did they do that? I don't know why I felt the need to put on a voice there. My balls still haven't dropped to this very day and I am 27 years of age. But yeah, I absolutely adore this franchise. From the stunning animatronics to the incredible practical effects and even some of the visuals that still surprisingly hold up to this very day. I was obsessed with this movie growing up, and granted, while none of the other movies really compared to the first one, I do think the second movie, The Lost World, is criminally underrated. I don't know why that gets so much hate. I absolutely love that movie. The third movie in the franchise, yeah, definitely had its issues, but I'm not going to put all the fault onto the filmmakers for that. It was clearly shooting without a finished script. I think the writer's strike really hindered that movie. It could have been a really good movie. There were some really good ideas in there, but I feel like the studio just wanted to push out there to get the movie released rather than, you know, holding it back and making somewhat a decent movie. As for the 2015 sequel reboot thing that was Jurassic World, I thought that movie was a really good time. I found it really fun, really entertaining. I thought the new cast members were very energetic, they're very charismatic. I got along with them, I started to root for them. They became characters that I wanted to see more of in this franchise, and then of course came along Fallen Kingdom where I got more of that, and the characters that I loved were still very enjoyable. While that movie wasn't necessarily great, it boasted some genuinely gorgeous visuals, especially some of the shots. The cinematography for that movie I thought was absolutely flawless. J.J. Bayona really crafted some jaw-dropping visuals in that movie. And the way that movie ended got me really excited for the concluding chapter, this chapter called Dominion, where I was expecting to see dinosaurs roaming free among the humans and us basically learning to have to deal and live in this new world where dinosaurs live among us. However, that's not the movie I got. I got a movie about a swarm of genetically engineered locusts threatening our crop supply, and that is the main focal point of this movie. You have dinosaurs living among humans, and you chose genetically engineered locusts eating crops. There is so much wrong with this movie, and I feel like it was a massive misstep from not only the filmmakers or the producers, basically anyone who's involved in the creative process of this movie. I just feel like they did it all wrong. Like, when the last movie leaves off on such a good cliffhanger, when you've got something there to genuinely get people excited and intrigued and wanting to come to see the next movie, just to rip that away from them, I feel is just insulting to your audience and to the fan base. Again, we wanted to see dinosaurs living among humans. Like, that conflict in itself is exciting, it's intriguing. You could have done so much with that, and they just don't. They skip over most of it at the start of the movie in little news footages as to how dinosaurs are living among us. We do get a little bit in this movie, a lot of the black market stuff, I will admit, I found really intriguing. But again, it just didn't do much with the dinosaurs. This is Jurassic World. It's supposed to be about the dinosaurs, not a genetically engineered locust. It's not supposed to be about that. That was the last thing. If anyone said to me after seeing Fallen Kingdom and said, what you want to see from this next movie, and I went, oh, locusts would be a pretty cruel thing. No one was saying that about this movie. Everyone was saying, oh my god, I want to see dinosaurs fucking shit up for the humans. So yeah, that main plot point annoyed me. Then you've also got your little subplots, one involving Maisie, played by Isabel Sherman, I believe is how you pronounce her name. She was the young clone girl from Fallen Kingdom. Now admittedly, I didn't feel like the clone girl storyline really worked for that movie, but they do something in this movie that I think is even stupider. I would have much preferred if they'd have kept it the way it was in Fallen Kingdom, rather than going in the direction they did in this movie, because it just doesn't make any sense. I think it's stupid, I think it's too over the top and absurd for a Jurassic World movie of all things. I just feel like it didn't work, it wasn't needed, and it added nothing to the characters. This subplot is only there to bring her character back along with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, because they couldn't think of any other way to get them involved in this movie. And don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard in the previous films. I think they've got good chemistry together. I think they're both very charismatic actors. They can hold your attention. They are very entertaining. But in this movie, they both don't feel like they're giving their best, and I don't know if that's necessarily them or if it's the material they've been given, because I think the writing for this film is just that subpar, it's just that bad. This movie also brings back the entire original cast from the first movie, including Sam Neill, Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum, and while it was great seeing them on screen together interacting with each other again, and while that chemistry is still there between the trio, their characters just didn't feel like they had an impact on the story. They felt like they could have been completely new characters, which is a bad thing to say when you're trying to bring back such iconic characters to this franchise. These guys made this franchise, or at least helped make this franchise what it is, back with their beloved characters. And then you bring them back in this movie and barely give them anything to do, to the point where you're like, were they really needed there? Did you really need to bring them back? And don't get me wrong, the actors do what they can with the material they have. They do have good chemistry together, it is still there, but I just didn't feel like their hearts were in it this time around. And it is, again, it pains me to say that. As someone who loves this franchise, it truly pains me to say that. This movie had nothing new going for it either, in terms of new action set pieces or anything like that. Bits you've seen in the trailer, you'll see raptors chasing after Chris Pratt on a bike. We've basically seen Chris Pratt on a bike with a bunch of raptors in the first Jurassic World movie. The laser gun that controlled the Indoraptor makes a return again. We've seen that in Fallen Kingdom. The T-Rex has a new big bad to go up against, but guess what? Not only have we seen that in Jurassic Park 3, we've seen it in Jurassic World. It just is the same stuff over and over and over again. There are some sequences in this movie that do involve characters that I care about, but I didn't feel any sort of tension, because I just thought, well, they're not going to kill off this character, they're not going to kill off that character, and the score didn't do anything to really emphasize anyone being in any real danger. I thought the score was so bland for this movie, which again, I hate saying, because the score for the other movies are all pretty decent. This movie also lacked any sort of visual substance. Like, they didn't have any shots in this film that made me genuinely go, oh, that's a really cool shot, or oh, that's really beautiful, look at the way they've done that. There was nothing like that. They dropped everything that J.A. Bayona brought to the sequel and just didn't do anything new again. It was very by the numbers in terms of what they did with it. There was just nothing new or exciting about this movie, and again, I hate saying that, I really do. I really, really wanted to like this movie, but my biggest issue with this film comes with a very tiny mention of something. Now, obviously, we know in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the main conflict for that movie was that the volcano on Isla Nublar was going to blow up and basically wipe out the dinosaurs, which was then thrown on us as a moral conundrum, as do we let these dinosaurs die and go extinct again, or do we save them with the resources we have? Like, we know we can save them from this island, but are they worth saving, or should we just let dinosaurs go extinct once more? And granted, when I first watched this movie, I just thought, well, why not move them to Isla Sorna? Like, that's a world that exists with dinosaurs. But then I read the interviews, and apparently they were discounting Isla Sorna altogether, which is a bit of a shame, because at that time, obviously, I still liked the franchise, I liked those movies, but I thought, you know what, if that's the case, it works for this movie. The conflict's there. Do we let dinosaurs go extinct, or do we save them? It made sense as to why people were going back to that island. It made sense as to why people were doing the things that they were doing. It worked for the movie. However, in this movie, they then name drop Sorna, which means the island exists in this franchise, which now means the whole can we save them aspect completely mute, because you could have easily moved those dinosaurs from that world. We've been proven to have the tools to do that anyway, from Isla Nublar to Isla Sorna, and let them live with the rest of the dinosaurs. And even if we didn't move them, it would throw the whole moral conflict of should we let dinosaurs go extinct to mean completely nothing, because if we did nothing to save the dinosaurs on that island, there'd still be another island with dinosaurs living peacefully on it. It really, really infuriated me that they brought back Isla Sorna because it just throws everything out the window. In this movie, they start moving these dinosaurs that are living among humans to this whole area in the mainland so that they can live peacefully. And again, I just thought, why not move them to Isla Sorna? If that island exists, move them there away from humans. Granted, we'd have to learn to live with the Mosasaurus and the pterodactyls and all that and pterosaurs, but at least the majority of them would be on an island and flourishing on their own. Dinosaurs would still live in our world if that was the main moral conundrum of the last movie. They'd still be here. Isla Nublar wouldn't be here anymore, but there'd still be dinosaurs living among us. So that whole aspect really, really angered me. I've also got to point out the main villain. I've just remembered they brought back Dodson in this movie, who of course appeared in the first movie. Now, if you've read the books, you'll know that he is a very impactful character on the actual story of Jurassic Park and the Lost World. However, in Jurassic Park, the movies, we have the adaptation, he was there for the first movie, and that was it. You never really saw him again. And I thought, it's a shame, because I've read the books, I quite enjoyed the books, it would have been nice to see his character a bit more. When he popped back up in this movie, I thought, oh cool, we're doing something with Dodson again, this is going to be interesting. However, his villain just had no intimidating presence. He just didn't feel like he had any sort of control over anything that he was doing. He had no charisma, he didn't feel like a genuine threat to the characters. He was just sort of there because they thought, oh well, we're bringing back the main cast, let's bring back Dodson, that'll be a cool little throwback to everyone. And yeah, while it was great seeing him, he did fuck all for the movie. He really did. He could have been anyone, and it would have made no difference to the film overall. This movie honestly just wasted so much potential and just wasted a lot of time and callbacks and references to the other movies. This movie is filled with Easter eggs to the previous installments because it kind of feels like they all knew this movie was gonna suck. So they were like, oh, let's try and hit that nostalgia button. And so they did, but it failed. And it failed in the storytelling, the character development, everything about this movie just did not work for me. Again, I hate saying it, I really do. A lot of my friends that I've seen this movie really enjoy this movie, and if that's the case for you guys, I'm really glad you do. I'm glad you didn't waste your money. I personally feel like I wasted my time going to see this movie, and I didn't want that. I really wanted to come out of this film, at least if it wasn't going to be great, just having a fun time, just having an enjoyable time like I had the other movies. Just seeing dinosaurs living among humans, which is what I expected from this film. And again, the Locust took up the main part of the storyline, and it was just a massive misstep. I was incredibly disappointed by this movie. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm wrong in this, maybe I'm just dumb and I'm looking into this too much and I should just be having fun with it and switching my brain off more, but I genuinely couldn't. If that is the case for you guys though, and you do genuinely love this franchise, go and see it if you want to and let me know what you think. I am curious to know what everyone else thinks about this film. I personally didn't like any aspect of it. Like, the visual effects still looked good, the dinosaurs looked good. While it was great seeing the characters on screen again, I just feel like they didn't have anything to do. They had nothing good to work with, meaning the charisma that I normally get off them, the energy that I get, just wasn't there this time around. I felt like the direction was a little lazy, the score was a little bit generic and bland and just basically reused the same shit over and over again. It was relying a lot on nostalgia. It just felt like a very lazy end. It felt like they generally have made this franchise now go extinct. As a lot of critics are saying, this franchise has now gone extinct because of this installment. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people hated Fallen Kingdom. It's not a bad movie, I quite enjoyed Fallen Kingdom, but this movie destroyed the franchise for me, and I personally hope that they don't pick it up again. While I'd love to see a definitive, conclusive end to this franchise that I love, I also don't want them to ruin it like this movie has ruined it for me. And it's because of that that I have to give Jurassic World Dominion 1 star. So, Jurassic World Dominion, have you guys seen it yet? What did you guys think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comment section below. I am genuinely curious to see what you thought about this movie. And hello, I don't know if I'm going to be back or anything like that. I'm going to make a video basically talking about what I've been doing, and if I am going to come back, if it is just going to be on a sort of part-time level whenever I get time to see a film and time to record and edit and stuff like that, whether it's just going to be little uploads here and there, or whether I'm going to try and come back full-time, I don't really know yet. If you guys are of course interested and you have genuinely missed this dumbass talking about movies that he likes and basically shitting over a franchise that you guys all probably love, but let me know, because I generally have missed this. I've missed talking to you guys. I mean, I still talk about movies all the time with my friends, but I miss talking to everyone out there who shares a love of film as much as I do. But as always guys, thank you ever so much for watching. It really does mean a lot. I really do appreciate the support that you've shown this channel over the years. Again, I don't know if I'm going to come back full time or anything like that, but I will upload a video just talking about what I plan on doing once I kind of figure that out in my head. But thanks as always for watching. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you do want to see more videos just like this one, maybe, then subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks again for watching, guys. You guys are awesome, and I will see you all, hopefully, in the next video.